Okay, I am working this pine trees swatch, and I read over the confusing notes and then I wrote them down in more simple terms for me, would just really look like a mess to you. But I get this. So we're going to start. They want us to chain a multiple of 10 plus 13. So that's what I did. And then in the fourth chain from the hook, they want you to double crochet. So you're skipping those first 3 stitches because that is your first double crochet. And then you're going to work 1 more double crochet because that starting chain starts out with 3 double crochets on that first row. And then they want you to chain 2 and skip 1. And then you are going to decrease 3 stitches across. So you're going to start your double crochet and pull through the first 2 loops. And then you're going to start your second double crochet and pull through the first 2 loops. And then you're going to start your third double crochet and pull through 2 loops. And now you're going to pull through all 4 loops on your hook. So you've made like a triangle. Then you're going to chain 2 and skip 1. And then you're going to work 5 double crochets along that chain. And then you're going to chain 2 and skip 1, and you're going to work the little triangle again. So you're going to double crochet, decrease, double, decrease. And then you're going to pull through all of those loops to make another little triangle. Chain 2, skip 1, 5 double crochets. So every row you're following the same pattern, but each row has its own pattern, if that makes sense. So now we're going to chain 2, skip 1, decrease those 3 stitches. Chain 2, skip 1. I messed up. That's okay. We're just going to work 1. Let's go ahead and put 2 in that 1 stitch and 1 stitch in the last one. It's not really going to make that big of a difference having to add 1 little stitch in there. So that is our first row. For row 2, we're going to chain 3 and we're going to decrease these very first 2 stitches. So the chain 3 is your first stitch, and now you're decreasing those 2 stitches, turning them into 1. So once you've done that, you're going to chain 3. And in the top of this little triangle, you're going to work a double crochet. And then you're going to chain 3. And you're going to decrease these 5 stitches. And you're going to make them 3 stitches. So you're going to decrease the first 2 stitches. So you've made that 1 stitch. You're going to double crochet in that middle stitch. And then you're going to decrease the next 2 stitches. So now you have 1, 2, 3 stitches instead of 5. And now you're going to chain 3, 1 double crochet on top of that triangle, chain 3, decrease 1 more time. So make 3 stitches, make 5 stitches, 3. Chain 3, 1 double crochet on top of that triangle, chain 3, and now you're going to decrease those 2 stitches at the end and then work 1 double crochet into the chain 3. For row 3, you're going to chain 2 and work 1 double crochet. You don't work into this very first chain that you see there because that chain 2 is occupying that space. So into the next space, you're going to work a double crochet. The chain 2 and the double crochet together are equaling a decrease stitch. And then you're going to chain 2 and work 2 double crochets in that space, 1 double crochet on top of that double crochet, and 2 double crochets in the next space. So there's your little block of 5. Now we're going to chain 2, and we're going to decrease these 3 stitches and make them 1 stitch. So we're going to go through all 3 of those stitches and make it 1. Okay, so now we have like a little tree shape. Chain 2, work your 5 double crochets, chain 2, and decrease those 3 to make 1, chain 2, work 5, chain 2, and we're going to actually decrease this one, so you're going to work the half of your double crochet and then into the chain 3 do the same thing, and then pull through all 3 loops to make 1 stitch. So that's row 3. For row 4, we're going to chain 6. That 3 is our first double crochet and a chain 3. Now we're going to come over to these 5 and we're going to decrease them again. So there's just kind of a repeat pattern that you're doing. You're almost doing the same thing on every single row, just at a different spot. So now we're going to chain, what does it want me to chain? 3, yeah, and then 1 double crochet, chain 3, and decrease. So decrease the first 2, double crochet in the next, decrease the last 2, chain 3, double crochet, chain 3, decrease. There's my decrease. And now chain 3 and end with a double crochet in the last stitch. Okay, so now row 5, you're going to chain 3 and you're going to work 2 double crochets in this space. Okay, so this is like the middle of your 5 and your last 2 stitches of your 5, if that makes sense. So we're going to chain 2 right here. We're going to make these 3 stitches 1 stitch. So we're going to decrease those 3 stitches. Chain 2. The pattern does not chain 2 right here before you go in and start making these 5 stitches, but I do because it just makes sense to me to keep repeating the pattern. all the way down the row. So if I say 5 double crochet, chain 2, decrease, chain 2, 5 double crochets, it just makes more sense to me. So I'm chaining 2 between every section that we're doing. I don't know why they wouldn't want you to chain 2 right there, but it looks fine adding the extra 2 chains. So we'll chain 2, and then we're going to end with 3 double crochets because that's how we started. So work 2 into that space, and then into the chain 3, the top of the chain 3, I actually work a double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 5 rows. For this pattern, they want you to repeat row 2, 3, 4, and 5. So every time you get to the end of row 5, you will start over with row 2, which is chain 3, decrease, chain 3, 1 double crochet, chain 3, and then you're going to decrease the 5 to 3, chain 3, 1 double crochet, chain 3, decrease, chain 3, 1 double crochet, chain 3, and then we're going to decrease and 1 double crochet to end the row. So you will just keep repeating those rows over and over again, and you'll finally get to where you just kind of memorize what you're doing to make all of these little pine trees.